Hello and welcome to another episode of the Confident Musician Show. You are tuning into 5 pro tips on how to be free to be yourself. My name is Brett Cusack and I'm a musician and confidence coach. And at The Confident Musician, we help musicians to overcome self-doubt and overwhelm and create more confidence than you ever thought possible so you can be free to be yourself, to make music, make a difference, and share your unique talents with the world. Without further ado, let's jump into our 5 pro tips on how to be free to be yourself. Alrighty. Tip number 1 is to determine what you actually love and want to do more of, and how can you actually help other people in some way. And what I generally do with my clients is get them to complete an IKIGAI, which is a Japanese reason for being, or IKIGAI. You tell me in the comments whether you think it's IKIGAI or IKIGAI. Anyway, so IKIGAI basically has these 4 areas that we want to answer questions to in order to figure out what is actually most important to us. So the first question is, what do you love? So write 5 to 10 things that you ultimately love. Then question 2 is, what does the world need? Write down 5 to 10 things that the world needs in relation to what you love. And then number 3 is, what are you good at? What are the things that you actually have talents and skills in already? And question 4 is, what can you get paid for? So when you answer all of these questions, you're going to have a series of answers, and I say 5 to 10 is probably a good place to start, but maybe go further than that if you need to. And then at the end of that, you're probably going to start to see, hopefully, that there are some things that start to cross over, or maybe you're in at least 2 or 3 areas. So when you're being congruent with all of these 4 areas, you're more than likely going to be doing something that's going to help you be more authentically you. And that's going to give you more permission to tackle more challenges in that space so you can be free to be yourself. Tip number 2 is determine whatever your thing is that you're going to work on. What are the highest priority action steps that you can do? And then what you want to do is chunk them down into small enough bites that you can achieve every day or every week, depending on what you've got going on in your world at the moment. Say g'day if you're jumping on. Let us know where you're tuning in from if you're watching this live. So when you're determining your highest priority action steps, then you want to chunk it down into something that you can do in either 5 minutes or up to 3 hours, I think, is a good time frame for you to actually start working on your dream. 5 minutes if it's something new and difficult that you need to expose yourself to learn, and then 3 hours if it's something that you're pretty competent in and you can stay focused on it for that amount of time. So tip 2, determine your highest priority action steps in the direction of whatever it is that you want to do more of, and then chunk them down into small enough bites that you can achieve in whatever time frame that makes sense to you. You are your best coach and mentor, and you've got to figure out and test what makes sense to you. Tip number 3 is to start now. You're not going to be able to play the flute without playing the flute. So you've got to trial, you've got to fail, and you've got to learn. And bring some childlike curiosity to your own discovery and just enjoy the process, because we're going to get frustrated, we're going to learn, we're going to fail, things are not going to be easy. So you've got to refocus and repeat until you're doing what it is that you love. And you've got to have a long-term mentality. I've always wanted to be an original musician. And I've released 30 songs and I'm pretty good at making music now, but I have no idea about how to, actually that's not completely true, of how to, I have some idea of how to make money out of my original music, but I haven't made a full-time career out of it yet. But I am now in the process of learning about who is my target audience and what are the things that I like to purchase and how do they want to be communicated to, and all those kind of things to actually get my music out there and find my audience and serve them in some way. So we've got to have that long-term mentality. I've been making music under Mega Love since 2008, and I'm still trying to figure out how to actually make some revenue from it. So I'm working on that at the moment with my Patreon, which we can talk about a little bit later. Tip number 4 is to choose your hard. Life is going to be hard no matter what it is that you choose. If you choose not to exercise, you're going to make your life hard. If you choose to get a job, that's going to be hard. If you choose to, whatever it might be, it's going to be difficult. So make sure that you choose your own hard, and make sure that you're choosing something that you actually want to dedicate your life to. And you're going to fail, and it's going to be frustrating, and you're going to have to learn, and you're going to have to grow, and you're going to have to jump outside of your comfort zone no matter what you choose. So make sure you're working on something that's actually fulfilling and inspiring to you. And if that's getting a job and helping somebody else fulfill their dreams, well, you want to help people fulfill their dreams no matter what. But you want to make sure you're doing what it is that is for you. So choose something you love. YOLO! Hashtag YOLO. And tip number 5 is to find somebody who's already done what it is that you're trying to do and ask them for help. And so that's why I've created my latest training, which is called Confidence and Happiness Secrets for Musicians, which covers a whole bunch of the internal world and helps you understand the problems behind your problems. Because if you're watching this video, you might have an important job, you might have a family, and I want to help you understand that there are some things that might be happening in the subconscious world, some stories or limiting beliefs that you may be telling yourself instead of actually going out there and doing what it is you do. So I've created this course just for you. All right, let's recap our 5 tips. Number 1 is to tip number one is determine what you actually love and want to do more of and help others in some way. And then complete the IKIGAI or IKIGAI with answering 5 to 10 answers for each. What do you love? What does the world need? What are you good at, and what can you get paid for? Hey, Raro, like the juice. How you going? Tip number 2 is determine your highest priority action steps in that direction. And I guarantee you with your highest priority action steps, it's most likely going to be having to interact with some other human beings because their people power is the most important thing. So getting in there and finding some other people that are going to help you along your journey. And then with your action steps, I want to release my first CD or my first album. Okay, cool. What are some small enough action steps? If you haven't released a CD before, all right, we've got to finish some songs. So step number 1 is do some songwriting. So everybody's going to have a different chunkable action step. So make sure you can chunk it down into something that you can manage today within 5 minutes to 3 hours worth of time, or longer, if that makes sense. Great, doing your dishes, awesome. That's cool. Tip number 3 is to start now. Try, fail, learn. And my partner Sarah calls it flirning, failing and learning. And I wouldn't be a great music teacher or a coach if I hadn't got out there and actually tried a whole bunch of stuff and failed and learned what works best for me. Just like I had teachers and mentors helping me who gave me ideas to test. You got to get out there and do it now. You don't want to be in this place in 2 years' time where you're 2 years older and you haven't actually moved in the direction. So you've got to start now, whatever it is. And refocus and repeat until you're doing what it is that you love and have that long-term mentality. Tip number 4 is to choose your hard. Life is going to be hard. Whatever it is that you do, it's going to be difficult. So choose the thing that you love. But it's going to be challenging no matter what it is that you choose. And it's always the most challenging because it's the thing that you're most afraid of failing at. But lean into that and have some fun with that and bring some childlike curiosity to it. YOLO, you only live once. And tip 5 is to find somebody who has already done it and ask them for help. Alrighty, so thanks so much for tuning in. If you are curious about what we do at The Confident Musician with helping people overcome self-doubt and overwhelm and create more confidence than you ever thought possible, you can also book a Q&A call with me to figure out what it is that we might be able to help you with on the link below this video. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you know somebody who would love to be free to be themselves, please tag them in this video or share it with them in a DM. Until next time, make music, make a difference. My name is Brett Cusack, Confidence Coach for Musicians, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.